the smell of hot asphalt and vinyl, the crackle of AM radio bleeding through a car speaker, a country barely breathing, and somehow, in all that noise, 10 songs hit like lightning and then vanished. You know the choruses. You don't know the secrets. Welcome to the 1970 Files. Number 10, Venus by Shocking Blue.
Well, I'm your Venus, I'm your fire at your desire.
A guitar riff beamed in from another dimension. Then, Mariska Veers opens her mouth, and something strange happens. She can't speak English. She learned every word, phonetically, off a handwritten lyric sheet. Songwriter Robbie Van Leeuwen had typed goddess as Godness, godness.
Yeah, baby, she's got it.
Veres sang exactly what she saw on the page, not a performance choice, a typo, turned into art. Venus hit number 1 in America in 1970. Mariska passed away in 2006, but that staccato, snarling, godness on a mountaintop and is still there. Imperfect, still perfect. Next, 30 million copies, written on a lunch break. Number 9, In the Summertime by Mungo Jerry. No drummer, just stomping boots, a kazoo, and a second-hand Fender Stratocaster Ray Dorset played on his break. From a Timex, research, laboratory, he wrote In the Summertime in 10 minutes. Had to beg his boss for the afternoon off just to do Top of the Pops. 30 million copies. But there's a shadow. The lyric, have a drink, have a drive, was so reckless that in 1992, the UK government played it in an anti-drink driving campaign, then cut to a fatal crash.
Everybody, but we do as we please. When the weather's fine, we go fishing or go swimming in the sea.
Ray Dorset still performs. The sunshine hides a warning. Next, 19 years old, 14 seconds, from Disaster. Number 8, Vehicle by the Ides of March. Those horns arriving like a freight train through a wall. Jim Peterick wrote Vehicle at 19, and the band cranked a Fender Twin reverb to its absolute limit. To get that roar, it hit number 2. But 14 seconds of the completed master tape were accidentally erased. An engineer hit the wrong button. The band spent 2 hours convinced their career was finished. A salvaged earlier take saved everything. Every time you hear that edit, that's the near death of a hit record. Peterick survived. He later co-wrote Eye of the Tiger. Before we keep going, close your eyes for a second. Think about where you were when you first heard songs like these: the car radio, on a long summer drive, the kitchen, on a Saturday morning. Drop that memory in the comments. Tell us the song. Tell us the place. Those stories matter. Number 7, Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head by B.J. Thomas.
Raindrops are falling on my head, they keep falling.
That dry, plinking piano tone, that's a Tack piano, actual thumbtacks, pressed into the hammers, Bacharach's way, to simulate rain.
'Cause I'm free. Nothing's worrying me.
B.J. Thomas was fighting a serious addiction to pills and alcohol, a habit handed to him by a Houston producer when he was just a teenager, recovering from laryngitis the day he cut the film version, raw, cracked voice, barely holding. Won the Oscar for Best Original Song. Thomas got clean through faith and years of hard work.
Raindrops keep falling on my head, but that doesn't mean my...
He died in 2021. The raindrops keep falling. Next, the secret inside a wedding song Freda Payne never knew about. Number 6, Band of Gold by Freda Payne. A soul groove, a wedding ring, a honeymoon where nothing happened. When they offered Freda Band of Gold, she refused. Producer Ron Dunbar said, "You don't have to like it, just sing it." Number 1 in the UK. For 6 weeks. Years later, songwriter Lamont Dozier confirmed the hidden truth. The husband was secretly gay, unable to consummate the marriage. On their wedding night, the censors never caught it. Freda never knew. Millions sang along to a coded story. Nobody told them. That's 1970 for you. This next one was a prayer for a nation that needed one. Number 5, Ooh Child by the 5 Stairsteps.
Ooh, child, things will get brighter.
May 4th, 1970. Kent State. 4 students dead. A nation fracturing in real time. That same spring, 5 siblings from Chicago released what was underneath everything. A prayer. Ooh, child. Things are gonna get easier. It climbed to number 8. The family fractured too. Clarence Jr. and James are both gone. But Kenny Burke, the youngest, grew up to write one of the most sampled bass lines in hip-hop history.
We're walking the rays of a beautiful sun. Someday when I want as much bright.
Things got brighter, slowly, the way they always do. Quick question before we hit the top 4. What was the first 45 RPM single you ever bought? Drop it below. I guarantee at least one song on this list was spinning on a turntable in your house. Tell me the song. Tell me whose house it was. Number 4, Ride Captain Ride by Blues Image.
No one came at all.
That cascading, shimmering intro. A Fender Rhodes, electric piano. Mike Pinera was stuck on an opening lyric. He looked down at the keys.
And be free once more. But no one heard them call.
The Fender Rhodes has 73 keys, not 88. 73. 73 men sailed up from the San Francisco Bay. The song wrote itself. Hit number 4. On November 20th, 2024, Mike Pinera passed away. The Fender Rhodes is still out there, still counting its keys. Next, a Hammond B3, a Leslie Cabinet, a name they weren't allowed to keep. Number 3, Green-Eyed Lady by Sugarloaf.
Green-eyed lady, passion's lady, dressed in red.
Grinding, rotating roar, a Hammond B3 through a Leslie Cabinet. Their original name was Chocolate Hair. The label said racist overtones and forced the change. Original recording ran 6 minutes. Radio demanded they cut it in half. Peaked at number 3. Lead singer Jerry Corbetta spent his final years battling Pick's disease, a condition that steals your words, your memory, yourself.
Lady, windswept lady, who's a night parade.
He died in 2016. The Hammond is still ringing right now, while you're watching this. Number 2, Patches by Clarence Carter.
My papa was a great old man. I can see him with a shovel in his hand. See,
The sound of a man carrying more weight than anyone should. Clarence Carter was blind, lost his sight as a child in Union Springs, Alabama. Patches was autobiographical, a dying father, a dirt-poor son, an impossible weight, passed down, recorded in one session, number 4 on the Hot 100.
and at the age of 13, I thought I was carrying the weight of the whole world on my shoulders.
Then the hits stopped. Carter kept playing small southern venues for decades, stubborn, defiant, still performing into his 80s. He never needed to see the spotlight. He found it anyway.
Lord knows, people, I shedded tears, but my daddy's voice kept me through.
Next, the number 1, A Nameless Friend, a tone nobody has copied. 60 films. Number 1, Spirit in the Sky by Norman Greenbaum. A Jewish folk musician, dead from Malden, Massachusetts. He watched the Porter Wagoner show and got an idea. A friend, whose name is now lost to history, built a custom fuzz circuit into Greenbaum's Fender Telecaster, 9-volt battery, flip switch, hidden under the pickguard, run through a Fender twin reverb. That tone has never been fully duplicated. The friend disappeared. The guitar is gone. The tone lives. Spirit in the Sky has appeared in over 60 films. Greenbaum says funeral directors tell him it's the second most requested song at memorial services, after Danny Boy. A man, a lost friend, a tone that outlived them both. These 10 songs are not footnotes. They are time capsules pressed into vinyl. During one of the most fractured years this country ever lived through, each one got it perfectly right, exactly once. And then the moment passed. If any of these songs took you somewhere tonight, somewhere specific, somewhere you hadn't visited in years, drop it in the comments. That's what this channel exists for. Subscribe to Classic Rock Files. We go deep on the stories behind the songs. Every week, stay legendary. And remember, the needle always finds the groove.